Let's move now to the SpaceX IPO, which SpaceX filed its S-1 this week for a Nasdaq IPO under the ticker symbol SPCX, targeting a $1.75 trillion valuation and a $75 billion raise. Both of those will be all-time records, by the way. The filing reveals XAI burned $6.4 billion last year, and that Musk retains roughly 85% of voting power on about 43% of the equity. Fortune called it potentially the least shareholder-friendly public company of all time. When you buy SPCX, you're essentially writing a blank check to Elon and his vision. What's your take on this monumental IPO, Mike?
It's that you're trusting a vision without knowing where it's going to go. So he's assembling an ecosystem. We can name the pieces, right? Cursor, Colossus, XAI. It looks like Starlink is a part of that package, which I actually find an interesting play as well, in SpaceX. So there's all of these different pieces of the ecosystem, and it's unclear how you might monetize all that. It's kind of like the NASA program. There were different innovations that came out of that were monetized, but it was unclear upfront which ones they would be, like microwaves, Velcro, stuff like that. You can fact check me on that. Will it be like this with this? That Starlink is an interesting capability that he may try to go after traditional carriers with. Started out as an experimental play, so that could end up being its own business by itself. And you wonder, will Cursor be its own business? So is this a holding or is it one business? That's what's not clear, because that's a different business. It's a different strategy. If all, like Google's holding, you just heard it, right? They somehow fit Gmail, Drive, YouTube, Gemini, that ecosystem, at least on the stage, they're trying to show you how it all links together. I'm not sure how his links together at all, other than I'm the boss with the vision. I don't know. Or is it, we're just hoping one of these pays out? Well, nothing could really ever pay out 1.75 trillion, at least based on the information that we have now.
So interesting fact here, at least I think it's interesting. The entire aerospace plus defense market cap. You want to take a guess at what the entire aerospace and defense market cap is today?
Smaller than that.
1.7 trillion.
Yeah.
Smaller than the size of SpaceX. That's crazy to me. That's insane. So I've been seeing this stat all over the internet, and I know where it comes from, because I ran into the same thing when I was talking this over with Claude a couple weeks ago. Claude said, they lost in 2025 about $5 billion, 4.9, I think it was 4.98 billion. But what that $4.9 billion number is, that's the amount of loss that they experienced from merging with XAI. So when they merged with XAI, there was I don't know exactly how it works, but the cost of merging, that was the $5 billion there. The number that they lost last year was 2.6. That was their run rate. That's what they made.
Which is nothing for them.
Too. No, it's not nothing, but it's a less than zero number. It's a less than zero number. So I don't know. And they're
hey, you got to spend money to make money. Isn't that the way Americans sell?
Yeah. Some interesting things here. So Musk is getting bonuses in, let's see, the exact wordage here. I don't know if the exact wordage is important, but he's getting 1 billion performance-based restricted Class B shares, common stock going straight to Elon Musk, that will vest in 15 equal tranches tied to market capitalization milestones. So the first one being at 500 billion, a trillion, 2.5, whatever. That's 15 tranches all the way up to 7.5 trillion. He unlocks the full 1 billion performance-based restriction shares of Class B. However, in order for him to get all of those shares or any of those shares, SpaceX has to found a colony and it has to have 1 million inhabitants on Mars in order for him to get any of those bonus performance-based shares. Same thing for the XAI side of the house. in order for him to get he has the same tranche situation set up over there. And in order for him to get any of those bonus-based shares, he has to launch, or he has to have in, not production, but in orbit, space data centers targeting 1 terawatt, I think, of compute capacity.
How old is he?
Elon Musk? Older than me, I think, which that's pretty old.
So I'm just thinking how on earth he will ever have this happen.
He's 54.
In this lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got roughly
20, 30 years.
20, 30 years, right? 30s at the high end for a male.
Probably.
Right? So, and who knows what his lifestyle is, if it's healthy or not. So
who knows?
he's got a lot of money to pay for the medicine. So will he even be around for any of that? So on the one hand, you could say, okay, those are incredible bonuses. The structure is interesting, but it does give him an incentive to push.
Yeah.
If you listen, right, you got to get 1 million people on Mars to unlock these tranches. Well, what do you think the probability of that is?
I think the greatest
Not
probability
high in 20 to 30 years.
No, I think the greatest probability is that it is just another way to get people talking about it, to get people investing in it, to get people. He's great. He is so good at increasing the value of a company. It's insane. It's really insane. And I feel like,
value.
I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are like, what are you doing? But I don't know. It just keeps going up and up and up. And at some point you're like, well, shit, I'm not making money off it. I really need to be invested.
It's too late, though.
well, okay. So Tesla, I think IPO'd. Let me look this up because I want to get it correct. But I think it was 1.6 or something. Let me see. Tesla IPO value. Tesla, 1.7 billion was a Tesla IPO. So if you got in Tesla day one, that's pretty good. That's what, 10 times? What are they now?
But that was before the hype machine really got off the ground.
No, that's
now it's an overdrive, right?
That's absolutely true. That's 100% true. But who knows if they do all those things and keep putting satellites in space. And
I mean, I admire the ambition. Just, I don't think I'd ever invest, though.
No. Well,
I don't see it paying out in my lifetime unless it reaches that 7.5 trillion valuation, unless you think you will come up with even better stories in the future that you'll get a good return.
So
that would be the game you'd have to play.
There's also something interesting happening now. I think Nasdaq is pursuing regulation around how quickly a new company can be listed in index funds. So I'm an index fund person, so I might be buying SpaceX very soon, whether I want to or not, just because they're going to be part of index funds really soon. And, they're a huge company. They're going to go straight to the top 10 companies in the world. Yeah. So it just kind of is what it is. So hopefully they grow. We will see. Hey, you've just watched a clip from Show Your Priors podcast. Check out our main channel for full episodes. We have a new one every Tuesday. If you liked what you saw, give us a like and subscribe. It's free for you and helps us out a ton. Did we miss something during our discussions? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one.